Hello, my name is Mark Rein from Epic Games, and I had the distinct pleasure of playing an early version of APB, and we're going to walk through and show you some real gameplay. The Real-Time Worlds guys put together this nice Powered by Unreal Technology shirt, which is a great coincidence because the game is powered by Unreal Engine 3. In a moment, Chris Collins from Real-Time Worlds is going to show up, and he's going to walk through the gameplay session with us, and we're going to describe some of the things we saw. And there's Chris. You ran those guys over pretty quickly.
No, pretty easy. You distracted them pretty well with your shirt.
So I'm sending you a command here asking if you can help me. This game is really easy to play. It's really easy to figure out the commands. It's really easy to communicate with other players. It's got voice over IP as well as the ability to type text commands. This is where vehicles spawn, so there's a whole bunch of amazing areas inside this game where you get vehicles and weapons and do all kinds of really cool things. I'm just waiting for Chris to show up. Here he comes.
Here I come.
Hey, Chris.
How's it going, Mark?
It's awesome. This is a really cool car you've got.
Thanks. So yeah, what we'll do is we'll take you through the real basics to start off with. As yesterday, you know, when we were doing the recording, you were a real noob at the time.
Somebody commented on that.
It shows.
One of the other players called me the noob.
So yeah, simple things like right mouse button, that'll zoom you in, put you into marksman mode so you can fire a little bit better. Mouse wheel scrolls through your weapons. Simple jump, crouch, like any other shooter.
Yeah,
you know?
what I absolutely love about this game, the controls are dead simple. They're exactly what you expect if you played a game like, you know, Unreal Tournament or Quake or any of these great PC shooter games. There's really very little to learn here.
So yeah, we'll get rid of that shirt as well because we're not giving you any free advertising, you know.
Hey, this game's going to be a fantastic advertising for our engine.
Cool, yeah, so what we're doing here is we're just driving around the waterfront district of Samparo. This is one of the more opulent areas of Samparo as a whole, but it has a bit of a crime-filled underbelly. And you're seeing a lot of the living city characters just sort of walking around. But this guy here, yeah, he's a player. He's a criminal, and he doesn't like me. And he had the distinct pleasure of driving me off the road.
Nice. So there's a lot of... So you're in here and you're doing your thing, and there's a ton of other live players in here, as well as obviously a lot of NPCs, right?
That's right.
Non-playable characters.
Well, we don't really call them NPCs, we call them living city characters.
Oh, that's cool.
They're the guys who just walk around and just generally, you know, they live in the game world.
So we just passed a little crime scene going on there, right?
That's right, yeah. The guy that ran me off the road, obviously he was on a mission against some enforcers and they took him out pretty well, I think. So we'll just head here to the service station where we can repair my car that he damaged quite nicely. And there we go, my car's nice and repaired. Looking good. So you can hear there some of the music coming out of that vehicle.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And that's using the Last.fm technology, so we'll put a track on for everyone else to hear.
So what'll happen is Last.fm will choose, if I don't have that exact same music track, it will be smart enough to find something very similar in my music library.
That's right.
So if the guy drives by and he's playing hip-hop, and I don't have that exact same song, it'll find a hip-hop.
Yep.
That's brilliant. So the flavor is preserved, even if you don't have the exact same.
That's right, he's giving off the image you want.
That's awesome.
So we'll head round here. We'll see what's going down. This is my usual patrol route, the waterfront.
This is so much fun. You just basically, when you're in either the front, the passenger seat or the back seats of the car, you can press your right or left, and it'll lean out the window, and you can shoot that way.
Here we go. Let's turn the music down a little bit. That guy over there, you see him?
Yep.
His name's Din. Now you can tell he's a criminal. He's got the red mark above his head. We know he's not a friendly one to us. He's a known criminal around these parts. He's part of what's called the Narcotic Brotherhood.
Nice.
They're quite a big gang around here. So we'll give him a bit of a follow and we'll see what he's up to. 'Cause he's not done anything wrong yet, so we can't just get rid of him.
On this server, we can't just go in and kill anybody who we want.
No, we can't. This is a standard rule set. We have got the Chaos rule sets as well.
So explain the difference in the Chaos rule
set.
So
Chaos rule set, you can pretty much do what you want. Criminals versus enforcers is just the law of the street. If you
you could go mess up somebody else's missions.
If you really want to, you can just all gang up.
Oh, here we go.
Yep. See, he tried to break into the car and we caught him red-handed.
So this is your screen now.
That's me.
So we're switching back and forth from your screen and my screen. So we'll just tell the people watching this when that happens.
And there he is, dead. We took him out, Mark, for the first time.
Ah, beautiful.
You can see him just lying there.
He's got his custom shirt.
That's right. So just before we switched over there, we took on a mission for the first time.
So what people can't see here is that on your screen it came up with the mission invite and you accept
That's right.
it, and that's really simple. It's just yes or no. There's very simple key presses. The game's always telling you exactly what key to press. There's no guessing.
That's right. I pledged up just before I met up with you, so
Yes.
I was working for a contact, and he sent us out on this mission. And as you can see, the HUD's changed a little bit, ever so slightly. It's very subtle, but the top right-hand corner there you can see it's telling us where we need to go and what we need to do for this mission, how many stages we have, and of course what the objectives are.
Yeah, and I found the arrows on the screen, like a lot of times you play games that are trying to give you a map live on the screen can be very confusing. I found this really cool. Can you explain how the arrows change their form to show you exactly where you're looking?
So on the screen right now you can see two different arrows. Or in my perspective, so I can see you as a green arrow, just tell me where the players in my team are. But the red arrows is also saying pick up there. And you see how it updates in almost a three-dimensional way and tells us where we're supposed to be headed to, what we need to pick up, what we need to drop off, and whereabouts
You
it
look
is.
good, dude.
Thanks.
Yeah, I think about an hour into the game, I was already had a very good feeling for when the arrows are changing shape, where I should be going. And that's amazing. It's very difficult in games in a 3D world to know up, down, left, right. I mean, they do a very good job. The arrows change their location on the screen to indicate where you should go. And they also, like I say, they also morph their shape.
That's right.
That's really
And really you find yourself watching those more and more as they get into the game,
absolutely.
right? Yeah.
And it gets easy. I mean, like I say, it might look confusing to people watching this video now, but an hour into this game, they'll really understand the arrow system.
I mean, we've not had to at any point pull up a map screen or try and work out where we are because the HUD's telling us distinctively, keep the action flowing, go here.
But there is a fantasc map screen in the game. We're
There
just
is,
not
yes.
showing it in this video.
You've also got the compass down the bottom right-hand corner, but I'll tell you a little bit more about that when we find something that shows up.
I'm not a very good driver. And I certainly found there were vehicles that handled better than others.
Yeah. So in this instance, we're heading up to the mall area. We're getting another one of the briefcases, but you can see how, like you mentioned earlier on, the arrows are saying it's down. It's below us. It's reminding us where the van is, but it's also telling us what the third point is.
Well, and you're not just driving around. As you can see, you're going in buildings, through buildings, upstairs, down ramps. You're jumping from rooftop to rooftop. So you're actually moving around quite a bit in the game, and the arrows are sticking with you and giving you a really good explanation.
That's right. And yeah, what's happening here, a very important element of APB, is we've got matchmaking. Basically, we've got to a point where everyone's heard about what's going on. The game's thought, right, these guys need some opposition, they're having too much of an easy time, and it just so happened the two guys that had spied the briefcase were what the computer matched us up against.
You think we could have shaved 20 pounds off me there?
We've got to keep it as realistic as possible.
Look at those tree trunk legs. This is you. This is your screen now. Stealing a car from an old lady.
Yeah. And, it's thrown us into a fight.
And again, there's another firefight going on, completely separate from what we're doing.
But you'll notice that they had grey names.
Yes.
And that's very important to take note, because they aren't involved within our fight. And if you ever see anyone driving around with a grey name, then you
Like
know
these guys going by here.
They can't they can't really interfere with our mission. But you'll see some red names pop up, and that means they're criminals and they're against us. And you'll see green names, and again they're a new party.
And I've noticed there on the compass, the two red guys are showing up as well.
That's right.
And
Yeah.
I believe any second here now, you take a look back.
Yeah, those two red marks, they'll only ever show up if the criminal is doing something other than walking. So if they're sprinting to try and get to you quickly, they'll flash up on the radar. If they're firing a gun, again, they'll flash up on the radar. And you can see me as well, I'm popping up there. My name's in green, so you know that I'm
Yep.
on your side.
You're on my side.
Not to shoot at me.
Well, actually, I forgot this is me driving.
That's right, yeah, you're doing pretty well as well. You start using the weight of the vehicle.
Yeah, I think I nudged this guy off the road in a second now. Bye-bye. This is you. This is your screen now.
Trying my hardest to keep up with you. That old lady's car wasn't the fastest.
The one thing I found in the game was that the vehicles definitely had different handling characteristics.
And it's not just the handling as well, they've all got different attributes, whether it be, they're more armoured, or they're faster, they're slower, they handle easier.
Some of the smaller cars really move nicely.
Yeah, and what you had there was you had the big armoured van, it
Yep.
could take a lot of hits. It could ram people off the road because it's really heavy. And I think we decided at this point I was going to hold them off outside and you were going to get inside and get those packages delivered.
I found all the arrows and indicators on the map for drop-offs and things like that were really easy to figure out.
Yeah, like I said earlier on, you know, it keeps the action flowing. It doesn't make you pull up a map screen.